Okay. Still in the main card, UFC 280 in the lightweight division. Beniel Dariush puts on a performance of a lifetime, turning back the up-and-comer prospect, Mateusz Gamrot, taking the fight by unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, and a 29-28 on the scorecards. Omar, let me start with you this time. What was your take on the heels of this performance by Dariush?
Overall, I feel like we previewed this fight pretty goddamn accurately. Gamrot was the wilder, scramblier fighter amongst the two of them, but Dariush's control and his technique was just superior. He was able to control him when he needed to. I actually thought Dariush scrambled fucking brilliantly. There were moments where he was rolling, just rolling in and out of things. I thought he did fantastic. His striking was ridiculous. The pace that he set, the forward pressure that he had for the entire fight was absolutely on point. The fact is doing that to Gamrot is not easy. I don't really care who you are. Being able to put on that kind of performance, that kind of pressure, that kind of pace on Gamrot and have Gamrot essentially a step behind, very difficult to do and very impressive having him having done it. So I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Like I said before, best Dariush I think I've ever personally seen in the octagon. I think it sucks he's not getting a title shot off of that performance because he fucking deserves it. But here we are. At the very least, hopefully he gets a fight that matters, like the Charles Oliveira one that we had kind of alluded to earlier, so that way, he's actually maybe in line for the next title shot, short of some other crazy nonsense happening. But lightweight has been notorious for being ridiculous and crazy with their rankings, so all we can do is hope.
Mark, what was your take on Dariush's awesome performance?
I was amazed. That was one of the most impressive defensive grappling performances I have seen in a long time. Beniel Dariush is not a human. Like, I don't think Gamrot ever had him controlled for even 2 Mississippi. Like, Beniel had an answer for every single thing that Mateusz Gamrot brought into that cage. He is so damn crafty everywhere. He is a truly unreal grappler. He started to figure out Gamrot's timing in the striking as the fight went on. Obviously ends up dropping him bad in round 3. Credit to Mateusz for surviving. But Gamrot got largely nullified here. Like, he kept trying. The guy goes. He only knows one way to fight, which is to go. But he got nullified for most of that fight. And as for Gamrot, I didn't really think he won his last fight either against Sarukian. So his game is kind of running into some walls here at the top. I do suspect he can tweak some things and be back. The talent is there. But Beniel showed out, man. Just his ability to scramble out of any and every position in mere seconds is like almost I can't even think of a fair comparison for someone who is so impossible to control. And he's such a tough fighter. And as we've said, he's a guy who deserves a title shot. He looked fantastic.
He does, man. He deserves it. Come on, guys, give it to him. How many has he won now? 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 in a row. 8 in a row for Beniel.
Wow. Yep.
My God.
Yeah.
He's been in the UFC since 2014.
And remember, this fight specifically, he came off of him like shattering his leg or snapping his leg or wherever the hell he did to his leg months ago, almost a year ago now. So
Ankle, I think, right?
yeah, something crazy he did to his leg in training.
Beniel Dariush had only 6 pro fights, and he was 6-0. And then he went to the UFC, and he is now 22-4-1.
Come on, get my man in there.
Come
Bro,
on.
I mean, I'll take Charles and Benny though.
Imagine being Beniel Dariush right now, the level that you're at right now, looking back at your record and being like, "Fuck, I lost to Ramsey Nijem."
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. It's always that way in MMA, man. There's always wild ones.
Hey, Ramsey was a fun one on Tough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Guy. He was a fun guy to root for.
He had some pop.
He was funny.
There's
He
a
was
lot
funny
like that.
guy.
Even whenever Charles fights and Felder's on commentary and they talk to Felder about how he beat Charles, and Felder's incredible.
Yeah,
But in
he's
my
so good.
brain, and I remember the fight and everything, but in my brain, I'm like, how the fuck did Paul Felder beat Charles Oliveira? Like, you know, there's a lot like that.
Dude, remember Felder's knockout over last call? What's his name?
Oh, Danny
Danny Castillo?
Yeah,
Steele.
that spinning fist, spinning back fist. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Didn't he bust his arm doing that?
Oh, did he?
You might be right.
I feel like he busted his arm doing that spinning back fist. Because I don't even think it was the fist that landed. I think it was his forearm that landed.
You might be right.
Okay.
Anyway, way off track.
We've kind of alluded to what could be next for Beniel already, maybe matching up with Charles Oliveira. What's next for Gamrot, guys? Gamrot, he's creeping up in the rankings. He's kind of almost in the upper echelon of 155. Still a lot of guys he hasn't fought yet in the division. What do you think could be next for Mateusz Gamrot? Mark, why don't you go first?
Going a little outside of the box. Is Gregor Gillespie alive? Like, do we know? Like, what goes on? The dude was ranked. He wouldn't take a fight because he was only accepting fights against people above him. I think he was ranked like 10th at the time. He couldn't get anyone above him to fight him. They removed him from the rankings due to inactivity, and he's just gone fucking dark. Like, does he exist?
I
If
don't
he
see
does,
him.
I would love to see him and Gamrot in there.
Gregor. Where he's not? Where is he on? He's not. Oh, there he is. Yeah, he's like not even ranked.
'cause he hasn't
I'm
done
looking at
anything.
rankingmma.com.
Because of inactivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, in mine, I haven't taken him out of mine. He is, just for what it's worth, he is 10th in mine.
Mark,
He's still
we
10th
need
in
you to
yours?
make your own website like rankingmma.com for the pre-rankings.
But he is, let's see, when was his last fight? He's nearing the point where he would be removed from mine, but
Okay.
it just hasn't.
What's
hit
the
as of yet.
what's the criteria for the pre-rankings?
I forget. I think it's 2 years as opposed to
2
one.
years. Wow.
That
I love how he's like, I forget what my own criteria is.
I have notes. I have.
Don't you have a
notes. I
key?
In,
Do you have a
in the
legend?
file, I have a key. Yeah.
Omar, do you have any names at 55 for Mr. Gamrot?
So, yes, I have one name. This
There's a lot of
person,
guys.
though, has talked more about how they want bigger fights now. They don't really want ladder climbing fights, and I don't know if he'd take the fight, but I think RDA versus Gamrot would be a very fun and interesting fight.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Well, he just went back to welterweight. Remember, RDA. He's fighting Brian Barberena.
But,
Oh,
is he
that's right.
staying at welterweight?
Yeah, it's fair. Is he staying there? Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I could see him fighting. I mean, he's coming off of a loss. What if he fought Tony?
Dude, I'd be into that. That'd be great.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
He already beat Ferreira, excuse me.
I hear my cat's fucking something up.
He already beat Kutateladze.